John, we got some crazy business unfolding in New York. As you and I begin our Friday night show, first of all, welcome. How are you tonight?
I'm as good as can be. I'm not up there. That looks like a mess.
Yeah. Now, I'm sure people have heard that there has been, I guess it's a fatwa when somebody calls for a day of jihad, but they have somehow conflated this in the United States with a day of rage. Now, the day of rage, that is language directly from the Weather Underground and the Students for Democratic Socialism, all the Bill Ayers and Bernardine Dorn stuff. But jihad is not the same. Jihad is a holy war, and it is astounding how many Hamas supporters we have here in New York.
Yeah, it's pretty weird. I'm sure that there's a bunch of people that just don't know what's what, and it's kind of cool to be on the
Yeah.
opposite side of the argument or whatever. But looking at the crowd, it looks like these people seem to be kind of pretty
No.
I see a lot of conviction here. I see a lot of conviction.
Well, oh yeah.
As opposed to so for example, when I was in high school, I went to Bronx High School Science. We used to go to, rallies and stuff, and we didn't know what the hell it was. Rock against racism. It's like, I don't know what was happening and who was really funding it. And, I didn't know any of that stuff, but it was kind of cool because it was in Central Park and you knew all the chicks were going to be there. And so these are the things you went to.
Right.
That doesn't appear to be what this is.
No.
I see a lot of people. Yeah, no, I see a lot of people here with flags and in the garb and whatever. So again, it's why the photographic evidence is always so important.
Now, wait a minute. Look at this. They're climbing over fences here. This is not the NYPD having control. So the crowd has moved from Times Square to the Israeli embassy, which is near the UN, I think 42nd or 3rd on the east side. And I mean, I don't think the NYPD has this under control. I don't think they have the ability to keep this under control.
It's interesting. We just had this thing a couple weeks back with the singer with the try this in a small town thing, and it shook people up.
Right.
And I'm kind of looking at this scene with the NYPD, and I'm thinking, boy, you try this in Texas. Those guys on.
John?
This is over before it starts. Now, did they get a permit for this, or is this
I don't know. I mean, I think if the police are there and the thing is carrying on, you can presume they have a permit. Because if you were to assemble without a permit, the police show up with this backpack that starts saying, "You are unlawfully assembled. You need to leave now. If you do not leave and disperse, you will be arrested." And some guy's walking around with that backpack playing that, and they would tell you to leave. So this is obviously permitted.
Oh, you're seeing two sides of the street. So you've got one side of the street are the Israeli supporters, and the other side of the street are the I see. Okay, and they've got the fences up, and it looks like Fifth Avenue is separating them. So that seems like a good plan. That seems like that's going to work.
Well, look, I mean, there's going to be a fight because...
No, I don't think so. I think
we've got people wearing Hamas scarves. I learned in Dubai that the pattern on the scarf of the headgear tells you what tribe or what affiliation the person has.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. I didn't know that until I started looking into the Saud family, and you're exactly right. The different patterns mean like Oman or Qatar or Saudi or Emirates. So, and I didn't know that, Bahrain. So I don't know any of that stuff before, but so been getting an education on this. So this is happening as we speak in real time. And to tell you the truth, I didn't know anything really about Gaza. Like, I don't know, where is it? Like, I had no idea. The closest I've ever been to Israel, I think, was changing planes in Dubai. Right. So that's the closest I've ever been. So I thought it would be interesting in this evening's show for those of us who are not familiar with Gaza, who've never been to Jerusalem, who've never been to a kibbutz or whatever, to take a look at where the hell is this place? What is Gaza? What is Gaza? Is it different from Gaza City? Is Gaza City Gaza? Is that the same thing? Is it? I don't know anything about this place. And is it in Israel? Is it next to Israel? Like, where the hell is it? What's the big thing about it? Is it the hellhole that it appears to be? Every time I see a photo of it, it looks like a hellhole. So
Yeah.
is it actually a hellhole? So we're going to take a look at this, and we're going to be using Google Earth. So again, I helped sort of generate software very early in my career that ended up becoming something called geographic information systems. And we had Zach on the show a couple years ago to talk about the Vegas shooting when he
Right.
was at YouTube, and he was a developer at Google Earth. This was his, he was doing this before he was doing YouTube, so he was a Google Earth developer, and I was doing this when Zach was in diapers. So Zach was a little baby boy, and we were building this mapping technology. So what we're going to do tonight when we go to the patron only show is we're going to do some live stuff. Now, that Google Earth used to be something called Keyhole. And Keyhole was what the CIA used to see stuff. And what we're going to...
Why'd they want to give it to
Yeah.
everybody? Seems like a very powerful tool to just open up.
I don't know. I can't tell you that I understand the relationship between Google and the CIA. I don't, right? So Google has relationships with the CIA. Amazon has a huge relationship with the CIA for Amazon Web Services, and same thing with Oracle. So, I can't throw stones, right? So Oracle had a huge relationship with the CIA. They needed a database. So
Did you ever meet with the CIA at Oracle?
No, I was that.
Bet
That
you
was
Larry
the
Ellison
government team. Dude, they were like, they helped fund the company because IBM had the technology, this relational database technology, and they weren't really doing anything with it. And Larry realized the commercial capability of it and wanted to apply it in a more generic manner that wasn't IBM only, so that you could run it on other computers like Maxes and whatever. So the CIA saw value in this because they needed to keep track of stuff.
Yeah.
We got a lot of stuff. Really kind of it.
We want to keep track
It's like people, data about people, whatever the hell it is, they need to keep track of information. And so very early on, they saw the benefit of it. Larry convinced them to come in, and I don't know, $40 million, $45 million to start back then was a big deal. Right?
This article has been deep sixed. I had to go to Web Archive to get it.
Interesting.
Journey from CIA's Keyhole to Google Earth.
There you go. So you'll hear them talk about Keyhole in some of the early Jason Bourne films.
Right.
You'll hear the woman say, somebody pull up Keyhole, and or Keyhole does something, and they're talking about the satellite. They're saying, let's get the satellite images. So that's well, Treadstone was the operation, but she's trying to locate Jason Bourne, and he's running around, and she's like, somebody Keyhole, get the Keyhole up on screen 7. What they do in the movie is what we're going to do tonight live, and we're going to go to Google Earth, and basically we're going to go for a virtual tour of Gaza, and I'm going to show you the wealthy neighborhoods. I want to show you the biggest homes that have the biggest pools and the tennis courts. Like, did you know there was wealth in Gaza? I didn't know that there was wealth in Gaza, but when you look from the satellite, you sure see some big ass houses with some big ass pools, and we're going to take a look at those homes. And sort of, what is this place? Where is it? What is it adjacent to? And how does that get interesting, right? And so we're going to explore that with the 3D maps. And then I've got a couple slides to share with people before we go to the Patreon only show. Who's this?
Real quick. Well, you were talking about Jason Bourne, and you remember there was at least one movie that this actress Julia Stiles was in.
Oh, is that her? She had the red hairish? Yeah.
Well, no, this is exactly her. But she was getting her luggage at a carousel at LAX one time, and I said, "Hey, Julia." And she said, "Hi, how are you?" I shook my hand. She had the firmest, strongest handshake of any woman whose hand I've ever shook. I was totally taken aback by that.
Yeah.
Tough
Yeah, she was a
lady.
tough cookie in the movie, too. Yeah, she was a tough cookie in the movie. Yeah, she was great. All right, so I've got a couple slides. Last week we got some great response to last week's show. People went crazy over the Pussy Patrol. People were
Mindy
just,
didn't
the
have too
comments.
much to say.
No, but a lot of other people have been nominated for it already this week. People
Oh,
now have seen what a great team it is and how little they get accomplished. And so lots of people like to do nothing. And so there's a lot of people who've just been
competitive
ignoring the
field.
engagement. Right. So we've got new people who are joining the Pussy Patrol this week. So that was great last week. Right after we did the show, literally hours later.
Yeah.
So we wrapped up our show last week. And I guess it was kind of at dawn that this raid took place, right? I guess it was dawn local time in Israel. And this attack takes place with paragliders.
Yeah.
So, yes, they stormed the border. Yes, they came through with bulldozers. But the most dramatic aspect of this thing was that we see about half a dozen paragliders with 2 commandos in each flying at this concert. And so again, I'm a very map oriented guy. I'm like, well, where is this? Where is this concert?
Right.
Where is Gaza? What's the relationship between it? Is this near Jerusalem? Is this near, like, what's it near? Like, I have no idea anything in the region. And of course, everything has got those, very biblical sounding names.
Right.
And so I wanted to better understand the lay of the land, right? This is root cause analysis. What is Gaza? What seems to be the problem with Gaza? What is right next door to Gaza? Where did they fly from? Where did they fly to? Where did they get the stuff, right? So where did they get the stuff that they flew with? Where did they get the paragliders?
What's the range of that paraglider?
Hell of a lot more than 3 miles, I can tell you that.
Okay.
Right, so they go 45 miles an hour when they're up in the air, and they can go for at least an hour, right? Maybe 2 hours. So they can go 45, 90 miles. They can fly around the whole damn country up there.
Wow.
But I guess they knew of this festival. So we're going to look more at the geography of the attack.
80 miles, it says. Up to 1,800 feet. Legal limits set by the FAA, but you can also reach as far as 80 miles through the air. So 3 is nothing.
There you go. Yeah, 3 is up and down. So it takes place at dawn, and the raid with these paragliders is remarkably similar to the attack in Las Vegas.
I agree.
And it's this surprise aspect. And there was a woman security guard at a kibbutz in one of these towns. I think it's Be'eri, B-E-E-R-I or something. And she is the head of security. She's 25 years old. And I guess in Israel, everybody has to be in the service, right? You're conscripted to the service somehow before college, after college. I don't know how the hell it works, but you got to be in the service somehow. And at 25 years old, she's the head of security at a kibbutz. Breitbart picks up the story of this young woman hero, 25-year-old Israeli woman, head of security, who hears the rockets and said, that doesn't sound like the rockets we normally hear. And she goes to the armory. Now, you live in a condo or a co-op. Does the co-op have an armory? Probably not,
No,
right?
not that I know about.
Right. So the notion of an armory, right, at a orange farm or whatever the hell they grow in these kibbutz things, right? Whatever they're growing, their mangoes or whatever. They've got guns. They got an armory. So she goes to the armory, gets the guns the minute she hears the first rocket. And she goes running around to everybody, yelling her head off, grab a gun, grab the ammo. Bobby, you get up there. Tommy, you go over here. Mikey, you're over here.
It's like Heshi
The Hamas,
Moish.
the Hamas guys show up.
Yeah.
She kills 5 of them herself. Together, this ragtag group of 12 of them, so it was her and 12, I think they only had 12 weapons is what it came down to. I think they only had 12 rifles. So there was her and her group. She kills 5 terrorists. Together, They kill 25 members of Hamas that were trying to get into the kibbutz and kill them. Not a single person in the kibbutz was killed.
That's good. I'm hearing something loud outside.
It's not me.
Yeah.
You have a live feed? Did you put one of those ring cams up on the window?
I mean, it sounds like thunder. I would normally sounds like something. It sounds like something blowing up outside. It's sunny. Hang on just a second. I'll be right back. Just going to go to the window here. People are still going to be able to hear me, but I can't hear you. I hear things blowing up. Fireworks.
Really? Fireworks. Okay.
Can't smell smoke, but yeah, out the window, I hear what sounds like fireworks. That's like 4th of July sound right there.
Interesting. All right. Keep an eye open if anybody's out and about for, that certainly would shake things up. A couple M80s and things like that. That would shake things up a bit.
I mean, even if there's a tremendous riot with guns going off, I mean, I'm in a brick building, interior courtyard apartment. You'd have to level this building for me to be hurt inside here by something going on outside.
Yeah, I don't think you're at risk. I think you're okay. So let's pop back to the deck and let's just show everybody a couple slides.
Can people hear that? Can you hear that?
No.
There's something blowing up outside. Hang on a second. You hear that? Holy shit. Something is blowing up outside. Now hang on a second.
See if there's a live feed coming in from somewhere.
It's going to be Twitter. NYC 1972. Dude.
What's happening?
It sounds like pretty consistent explosions.
Anybody posting anything? Said explosion in New York? If anybody is watching the show, it's in
Do you hear that?
City.
Do you hear that?
No, you're back. It sounds
Twitter's down now.
Twitter's down.
Hang on a second now.
Let's see if Twitter's down. Actually, I'm going to go to down detector in real time.
I hear helicopter.
Oh boy, sounds like things are getting out of control.
I mean, we'll leave the window open and we'll see what's going on, but Twitter is saying something's gone wrong. Retry. Okay, it's back now. One person arrested. Yeah, I don't know if this person's live streaming. Thousands continue to march for
Down
Palestine.
detector isn't showing a whole bunch.
No, it's
of problems
back.
at Twitter.
It's just down for a second.
Okay.
You can hear it consistently. Something is blowing up.
Yeah, I hear it, but on the microphone because you've got the noise suppression.
Oh, right.
It just sounds, like this. We just
Dude,
hear
hang on.
a little bit
Going
of
back to the window. Dog's freaking out now. I mean, there's somebody blowing something up. We're going to find out what that is pretty soon. Interesting, but okay.
Crazy. All right.
Somebody says it's manholes exploding in Times Square. Is that true, Brad? How do you know that?
I don't know. Let's see. Again, you were getting a feed a minute ago from one of these guys, right? So is there...
I don't think it's live. Let's just see here. Times Square.
Yeah, but you're like a mile from
marching
Times
towards the
Square.
Israeli. But this sounds like it's coming from...
Is that north or south of you?
Let's think. Go down the elevator, out the building. That's west.
Sun sets that way. Where's the sunset? When the
That's
sun
west
sets,
over
where
there.
is it?
Someone's telling me to go to the roof, but the broadcast will end if I do that. I can't just pick this up and go to the roof.
Well, when we wrap up our patron show.
Yeah. All right. Well, anyway,
Maybe
let's continue, and we'll just keep
an eye on it.
monitoring this.
Keep an eye.
Okay. Sorry, the deck.
All right,
Yeah.
so we know something's going on in New York at the moment.
Sounds
so
like it.
I wanted, so I want to get a better understanding of Gaza. You know, most of the photos that you see of Gaza, it kind of looks like a hellhole. And then after this this attack and the brazen butchering of people and all that, Israel comes in and attacks back. And so the next slide is one of the photos that was taken of the counter attack in Gaza.
Wow.
But I wanted to get a better understanding of Gaza. Like, does the whole place look like this? Is like, what is that? Like, it almost looks like it was built for urban combat. It's like, it looks like a crazy place.
Dude,
so if
this
you go
is
to
like
next,
consistent explosions. Let's just see. NYC explosion. Manhole explosion. Manhole explosion. Explosions. What about news? Dude, that's getting loud. Explosion of unlicensed smoke shops. Massive gas line explosion forced. That's a day ago. Nothing's being reported about this. That's explosions.
Is it fireworks or people shooting guns in the air? I mean, are people firing? They're not supposed to have weapons, but are weapons being fired? People shooting guns?
I don't know.
Well, I know
It's
M80s.
very weird.
Yeah, very weird. All right, so this next photo, though, is one of these keyhole images. So this is one of the images from the satellite of another area in Gaza. And so one of the things I always want to understand about a place is, what do people do to make a living? How are
Wait a
people
minute. Now I'm
earning
hearing
money?
fire trucks.
Well, it sounds like something's going on. Sounds like you need one of those Bearcat scanners.
Going to police scanner. Isn't there a website I can go to?
Probably.
I think, John, maybe what we're going to do is we might end this and I'll go to the roof and we'll do the sponsor exclusive from the roof and we'll come back to this deck another time.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's see what's happening.
All right, let's do that.
New York City.
Let's break this down, and I need to just reconfigure something with you. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to go up to the roof, and people are going to be able to join us on subscribestar.com/IamJohnCullen, patreon.com/IamJohnCullen, odyssey.com/@CrowdsourceTheTruth, crowdsourcethetruth.substack.com, and subscribestar.com and patreon.com.
I hear it.
It's getting crazy.
Like explosions. Yeah, something's going on.
I'm going to go up to the